Well, students are heading back to class, which means school zones are back up and running. And it is our responsibility to keep our kids safe. Joining me this morning to talk about school zone safety is Community Resource Officer Supervisor Amanda Lutman and Mobile Police Department PIO Roderick Miles. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some of the biggest concerns you see when it talks about school zone safety. What are some of the mistakes that parents and drivers make?
I would start off with being on their cell phones, not being aware that they're in a school zone, paying attention to the crossing guard that's out there, making sure that they have all traffic stopped before crossing the street. You don't want to cross the street without being told.
Absolutely. A lot of times I see parents dropping their child off in the middle of the road. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes, that is a frustration city department wide. We ask that parents don't do that. Yeah. Nobody likes to go through a carpool line, but it is for the safety of everybody involved.
Absolutely. And let's talk about some of those penalties that people could face if they're not slowing down in school zones or if they're dropping their child off in the middle of the road. Talk about how the Mobile Police Department is really enforcing that this year.
So if you're caught speeding in the school zone, people should be aware that the speeding penalties are doubled as if you're in a construction zone. So pay attention to the flashing lights, know your child's school zone or know the school zone in the area that you reside, and just pay attention. Just mostly don't be distracted. A lot of children out there walking, a lot of kids out there going to and from, and we want to make sure that everyone makes it home safely.
Absolutely. Well, in some school districts, like in Okaloosa County, which is over in Florida, they have implemented traffic cameras that kind of activate 30 minutes before school starts and then 30 minutes after dismissal. Is that something that's happening here in Mobile County?
No, ma'am. We don't currently have that, but that's not something that, we could be on the chopping block in the future.
Right.
There's always ways to advance in the city.
Absolutely. And what are some of the biggest, misconceptions when it comes to school zone safety, would you say?
A lot of people think that the crossing guards are employed by Mobile County Public School System when they are actually employed by the Mobile Police Department. Crosswalks are not an option. We do ask that students walk, through the crosswalk, no running, patience.
Right.
Just have patience. These first couple weeks, it's the longest. Between new students, new faculty, schools have been out for the last couple months, so just have patience for these these first couple weeks.
And talking about school being out, school buses, we haven't seen the school bus in a long time. Can you run us through some of those traffic laws and rules that go along with seeing school buses when their stop sign is deployed? Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. So when a school bus stops and they let out their stop sign, their red stop sign, both lanes of traffic are to stop. Children aboard the school bus, once that stop sign, closes and the school bus starts to take off, then motorists can take off.
And I'd like to add on to that, if you're caught passing a stop bar or a stop sign while the bus is loading or unloading, that's an automatic court appearance. You don't get to just pay the citation and go on with your day. You have to sit before a judge, and that takes time out of your day. So as she mentioned before, just have a little bit more patience and just learn the area that you're traveling in.
Absolutely. That's a good point that you made. I didn't even know that. So that is good to know. And students, parents, drivers will be out on the streets any minute now. So make sure you are paying attention on the roads. Thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We'll be right back after the break.